If you are considering TouchBistro for your POS system for your restaurant, we are going to break it down right here. The features, the pricing, the pros, the cons, the integrations, the customer support, and more to help you make an intelligent decision when it comes to purchasing your POS system. Okay, as you should, as it's the central nervous system of your entire business. Okay, so no preliminaries. Let's get started. First off, let's talk about what we're going to talk about. And that means let's talk about what's included in this little session we're going to have. And I already talked about it a little bit, but we're going to give an overview. Then we're going to talk about pros and cons, the features, the pricing, the reporting, the integrations, and the customer support. Let's start with a quick overview. All right, TouchBistro came into existence in 2010, and since then, they have occupied more than 29,000 locations here in the US. What I like about TouchBistro is that it's built specifically for restaurants. And I'm not a big fan of retail POS systems that later adapted to restaurants like Clover and Square. Okay, it's not like they won't work for you, but they simply aren't as intuitive for those of us who have worked in bars and restaurants and know what a POS system should do. Okay, so let's do the rundown. Let's talk about what's good about TouchBistro and some things to consider that might not be so good, which we call the pros and cons. Okay, starting with the pros. TouchBistro is specifically built for restaurants, which we know I like. It's more intuitive. We just talked about that. It's very easy to use, which everyone likes. Okay, it can be affordable, assuming that you don't have a bunch of add-ons. They have lots of integrations, which means even if you don't see something in the features, it's likely that they have an integration that can do it. Okay, and if you need them, they do have some decent customizable add-ons, which we'll cover in just a minute. Okay, moving on to the cons. They are contract only with no month-to-month option. That means if you want to cancel, there will be a hefty penalty for doing so. This is one of the reasons, among many, that I do love Lightspeed right now. They have a free trial and they also have a month-to-month option. And then if you like the system, you can sign on for an annual plan, which saves you even more money. Okay, not so with TouchBistro, so make sure you like it because they don't even have a free trial. All right, it is iOS only, which could be a con if you like Android, or a pro if you like iOS. They have shaky customer service. All right, I have experienced this personally with TouchBistro along with other owners and managers. All right, they aren't the worst in the industry when it comes to customer support, but they certainly are inconsistent. All right, the reporting is not as robust as some of the other top systems out there like Lightspeed and Rescue, and then they are US based only, whereas Lightspeed is in over 100 countries. But if you're watching this and you're in the US, it's not a problem now, is it? Okay, is TouchBistro easy to use? Well, in case you missed the pros and cons 15 seconds ago, I will reiterate that yes, TouchBistro is very easy to use. Ease of use is excellent. I have used TouchBistro quite a bit, and I love how intuitive and aesthetically pleasing the interface is. It does not take a long time to figure out the features, both for the front of the house and the admin sections of the system. By the way, the ratings for each metric in this review are excellent, very good, fair, and poor, just so you comparatively where each one stands. It's sort of like a 1 through 5 rating, but replaced with descriptive words as to paint a picture in your mind. Anyway, let me jump on the iPad and show you what I mean. Here we go. Let me clock in. Okay, and I'm not going to give you a full demo of the iPad. I can do that another time if I get enough requests. But you can see how nicely it's laid out. This is the floor plan here, and you can edit this floor plan any way you want. I'll show you that here in a second. But I can tap on any table at any time. You can see they have information on here, how long the party's been here, what their bill's at, table number. So if I just tap on a new table here, I can enter a party name, or I can just hit add to table, and it will start, and it opens right up to the menu here. You can see all the extra options down here when they're checking out. Different seat numbers that you have here. If I drag my finger along all of them, you can just make them all one table if you wanted to. I mean, you can't see me dragging my finger, but you can see they're all the same color now, so I can just add everything to one table. And then I can just go up here to the menu and start ordering things. So I can give some sangria. Back to the main menu, order some appetizers. So very easy to do. And then when I'm ready, I can just hit send up here. Again, I'm not giving you a full demo here, but you can split checks, you can transfer checks, you can do all that. Very simple. You can see the menu here, how you can put descriptions in, pictures, all the pricing. So it's very aesthetically pleasing. I just wanted to give you a quick look at that. Over here in the admin, right from your iPad. You can do all sorts of things right from your iPad. You don't have to go into the back office, and you can do everything right here, including the floor plan. If I go there, I can edit the floor plan. And right here, if I put my finger on any of these tables, I can just drag them around. I can add more of these anywhere I want. I can rename them. If I go to my layout tools, I can add a bunch of stuff. So that's just a quick overview of what it looks like inside TouchBistro, so you can just see how easy it is to use. So as you can see, it's nice looking. It's very easy to use. If I do get enough requests, I might do a full iPad demo on TouchBistro at some point, but you can just as easily sign up for a demo with TouchBistro, and they're going to guide you through all that. Okay. And before we get to the features, you might be asking, well, what type of venue is TouchBistro best for? Is it good for me? All right. Well, TouchBistro does have locations of all sizes, from bakeries to large venues, but because of some of the limitations compared to other top POS systems out there, TouchBistro's sweet spot is these smaller to mid-sized restaurants and bars, as well as quick service restaurants and cafes, bakeries, etc. That's their lane. Okay, so what about their features? Well, for features, TouchBistro gets a rating of good. Again, if you're a smaller venue, they're going to have everything you need, okay, including a floor plan and table management, which you saw a little of in the iPad when I broke it out. All right, you can create and edit your floor plans. You can make each section color-coded. So if you have a server that can have their own color, you can quickly find them on the iPad. You can assign seats to each customer. You can split checks, transfer checks, the whole shebang that most POS systems can do. They have staff management, so employees can, of course, clock in and out whenever they want. You can set permissions and security settings to give or restrict access to employees based on their position. They have menu management. From here, of course, you can create and customize your menu, complete with descriptions, pictures, modifiers, etc. You can have multiple menus and up to 8 courses at each table. So that's very nice. Inventory management. As I always say, POS inventory management is not real inventory management. It's theoretical inventory management unless you actually count your inventory and enter it into the TouchBistro system, because it's just deducting what's rung in, not what's actually used. So it's not real inventory. All right. Table side ordering. And just to clarify, that's not order and pay at the table where your guests scan a QR code and order and pay for themselves from their phones. It means that your servers can have an iPad and take your order at the table. Okay. Kitchen display system. I believe these are an absolute must to have today in order to be faster, more efficient, and cut down on mistakes. And TouchBistro has it. And then the ability to split checks and transfer checks, like we've already mentioned, and add gratuity. Every system should have those capabilities. All right. Moving on to pricing. I really don't like TouchBistro's pricing they have listed on their website. It just has this, starting at $69 per month. All right. It's quite vague. I hate when there's not transparency. There's no list of features that you get for your $69 per month. And there's also no tier level shown. All right, but they do have add-ons, which you can see here. You can get online ordering for $50 a month, gift cards for $25 a month, loyalty program for $99 a month, reservations for $229 per month, and marketing for $99 per month, which includes some promotion stuff. Okay, now when it comes to hardware, it is very difficult to determine what you're paying, as once again, there is virtually no transparency here. All right, you have to call and speak with a salesperson to get a quote, which is a bit annoying, but not a deal breaker. Okay. It should also be noted that they do not offer a payment plan for the hardware. So that's a bit rigid there. I'm not a big fan of that. And I try to get some sort of deal with TouchBistro for my audience, like I always try to do with the POS systems I review in order to help you guys out, but they refused. Okay, if you want to check out the POS systems that did generously provide a deal, you can go check out my reviews on Lightspeed and Rescue and GoTab. They are giving up to $1,000 to $2,000 off to my audience who go through my link so they know who sent them. And I will always have those links in the description if you'd like. All right, but I digress. TouchBistro's pricing is fair, but it's vague, and it can be sneakily expensive if you add on a bunch of integrations and add-ons. So I guess it would be helpful to say that when it comes to bang for your buck, that there's a bit less bang than buck with TouchBistro, but it is still a good system. Okay, what about reporting? All right, I have TouchBistro ranked as good here. They certainly have adequate reporting for what you might need, just nowhere near the analytics you're going to get with Lightspeed, unfortunately. But let's take a look at what TouchBistro can give you. Okay, you can run sales insights, including the sales history over a certain time period. You can break sales down by categories, sections, servers, food, and discounts. It's going to give you your top menu items and menu categories. You can also run reports on basic staff performance as well as labor insights. For integrations, TouchBistro gets a very good here. If their main features don't have what you need, you can always integrate with a third-party software. Things like accounting, business management insights like Vero, which give you more analytics if you want to pay for them, staff scheduling like 7 shifts, online ordering and delivery, and mobile payments. So then finally, we're going to end up with customer support. And here, TouchBistro gets a fair rating. As I always say, customer support in the POS industry is a tough one to come by because they do get very busy and overwhelmed, but TouchBistro is more inconsistent than most. The response time is very slow, and there have been many complaints about a lack of genuine caring for the customer. Again, I have personally experienced this with them as well. All right, I'm not impressed with the way they handle their problems. They do claim to offer 24/7, 365 support, but there are many complaints that they only respond via email or take an extremely long time to return calls, like I mentioned. All right, their website does have an extensive tutorial library, which is nice. All right, sometimes you just got to figure stuff out on your own. So in conclusion, I like TouchBistro. It's not the top of my list, but it is a good system. It's very easy to use for you and your employees. You're just going to have a few limitations compared to some of the other favorite systems out there. So overall, I give TouchBistro a 4.3 stars out of 5, so not too shabby. All right, if you are interested in checking out more, make sure to schedule a demo with them so they can show you what it can do and you can ask all of your questions. I always suggest that you get demos for these systems that you're checking out. The POS system is the most important system in your entire restaurant, so take it seriously. Okay, so I hope this was helpful, and I hope you find the perfect POS system for you and your business and your employees. Okay, make sure to check out my other reviews on POS systems, and as always, I hope you make millions and millions of dollars this week. I am going to see you next time. It is Dave, the Real Barman. I'm out.